Aaron Rodgers led the Packers to a 27-24 comeback win in overtime against the Bengals yesterday. The Packers were down 7 late in the fourth when Rodgers led a 13-play drive and hit Jordy Nelson with a game-tying touchdown. In overtime, Rodgers' 72-yard pass to Geronimo Allison set up the game-winning field goal. We're joined once again by Greg Jennings. Greg, how impressive was Rodgers yesterday?
Impressive with the capital I and the exclamation point at the end. You cannot.
All caps? Should we do it all caps?
You don't even have to put all caps because it was only a week 3 win.
Okay.
Comma.
You cannot let Aaron Rodgers have the ball last. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. When you allow Aaron Rodgers to have control with obstacles in front of him, weighted down on him, what comes out is greatness. Like, that is all caps. We saw it in Dallas. You cannot give him an opportunity in the playoffs.
I remember 2
Mason Crosby, Mason Crossbar, as you call him.
56 and 51.
You cannot allow him an opportunity to take advantage of or take over the game. And what I mean by that is if you have a chance to shut the door on him, you better shut it. Because if it's any seam, any open door, open crack, he's going to bust the door wide open. And that's what happened yesterday.
There wasn't no crack. Andy Dalton left the door wide open. Told him to come on in.
My point is you cannot do that. I mean, it's not just Andy Dalton. The defense has to continue to play the way they played in the first half. They get 6 sacks on Aaron. You have to keep that up. You can't let up at all.
What did Andy do in the second half?
Nothing.
Okay.
That's why we're not talking about Andy Dalton. That's why we're talking about that guy.
So that's why I'm not, Skip, if he was going against another legendary, he did this against Tom Brady. He did this against a Drew Brees. He did this against
Dak Prescott.
If he did this against a Ben Roethlisberger, one of these upper echelon quarterbacks, okay, Skip, now we're talking. But this is Andy Dalton. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. We expect it from him. Skip, he did something yesterday for only the second time in his career. He threw a pick 6. Think about this, Skip. I want you to let that sink in. 10 years.
He threw a pick 6.
That has nothing to do with what's going on with the other quarterback.
He got 2 of those. He got 3 interceptions on the season. He only threw 7 last year. So he's not playing his best ball. And he's still, that's when you know you're great. When you don't have, when you're a pitcher, yeah, I like baseball. I ain't the biggest baseball guy, but I understand it. When you don't have your best stuff, Skip, and I can still go out there and get get me a 2-hit shutout.
Yeah.
Man, I know I'm dealing.
So help me out. Did Aaron Rodgers not have his best stuff
He had his best
at
stuff.
Atlanta last
He had
night?
his best stuff. He had no.
He's matched up against.
They were knocking him out the park though tonight. That happened. Even
off that.
Hold on. You don't think Cy Young gave up home runs? Big Train, Walter Johnson, Lefty Grove.
How do we get on base?
I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't have your best stuff and they beat you. He didn't have his best stuff yesterday, and he was going against
So did he not have his best stuff last year when they started off 4-6? So for 10 games he didn't have his best stuff.
And did he end up winning the Cy Young? You see that, Skip? That's what happened.
Wow.
Skip, I would give Aaron Rodgers a C+. Because the expectation level that we have for him is that we expect him to make these throws and to do this. But Andy Dalton wet the bed in the second half. You might as well say that. Put some Pampers on him and tell him and spank him for not getting you up knowing he had to go to because he wet the bed.
Giving him a C+ because of how great he always plays in the biggest stages and the biggest moments. But that's an unfair assessment because even when he does make the mistake that most quarterbacks tend to make often, he's able to show resolve and overcome that because of his greatness. He doesn't go in the tank. We don't see him do that. That's why, I mean, it's impressive.
I must say, he made 3 or 4 throws in the second half yesterday that I thought were really special. Like, nobody can do that except that guy.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like the one in Dallas?
I'm being honest.
Like the one in Dallas last year?
That was big.
That was pitch and catch.
Stop it, Skip.
He was wide open as Jared Cook, who's still making plays now. You know, stand at the sideline saying, "I'm open." This guy's like 7 yards away. I'm open.
He wasn't. Skip, the man was.
He was wide open.
35 yards away, Skip.
Please,
rolling
no pressure
out to
on
his
him.
left.
Oh, please. He stopped. It was a pitch and a catch straight up the sideline.
35 yards away.
Oh, please. Where was Byron Jones? I'm playing.
Was he?
I got to preview. I got to go back to the 10-yard line. Make sure he
Was he in
doesn't
the
get it
pocket when he threw that?
with a Hail Aaron.
Trevor Simeon said we like to see Byron Jones again.
It was a great call because it fooled Dallas's defense. They weren't rushing anybody else.
They brought Jeff Heath.
Oh, please. That was the previous play.
No, they brought him on the weak side, and they dropped it in on the side that he rolled to.
All right, back to what happened yesterday. I got to take to task a young man from a school that I do root for called the University of Oklahoma football program, and I never once even remotely defended what Joe Mixon did to that woman in his first week on campus as a freshman, but I did defend him on the field because I think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, late in the game yesterday, Joe Mixon had a little quiet coming out party, and all of a sudden they took the ball out of Andy's hands and they start handing it to 28.
Yep.
It's wearing that Adrian Peterson number. And he goes 6 yards and 6 yards and 7 yards and 9 yards. And he kept making first downs. And guess what he did every time he made a first down? He jumped up and gave it a big whoo. One time he started walking back to the huddle. Oh, I forgot to do the first down. Just stop it. Just try to earn a spot. You know, earn your way into the league before you do that. So what happens on the key moment of the game for the Cincinnati Bengals? They got 3rd and 1 at the 27. If they go in for a touchdown there, it's going to be over. Even Aaron Rodgers in his house is not going to be able to come back from that.
Oh, he did.
And what happened? Joe Mixon tried to get out of the blocks, and feet went straight out from under him, and he fell right on his face mask. And Andy Dalton was left holding the bag, literally, and it went nowhere, and you got to kick a field goal, and 7 wasn't enough to hold off that man in his house. So I'm putting some of this on my man, Joe Mixon, who I just think can be a really good running back in this league because he can catch it as well as run it. And yet, in the end, I also got to point out one more thing to you. Once again, the play of the game came on a trick play. He tricked him again. He always tricks them.
Oh,
they
stop
jumped. They jump. It's 3rd and 10 from the 21-yard line in overtime. They jumped. Hard counted them.
Yep.
He hard counts everybody.
Yep. So how is it a trick play?
He hard counted the Seahawks when he hit Jordy in game number 1.
Absolutely.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Hard count.
Tom Brady did against New Orleans.
And once they jump, you know it and I know it. The defense is completely out of sync, and it's like, oh, everybody's on their heels. What just happened? Oh, there's a hesitation. He who hesitates is you lose to Aaron Rodgers because all of a sudden Geronimo, he's wide open. Nobody covered him, right? And what was it, like 72 yards later? 72 yards, and it was about a 30-yard, catch. He ran for another 30 because nobody was around him. What are you doing?
Was it a pretty spiral?
So you fought your guts out all the way to that point, and then you get tricked and you lose on one play.
The ball. Don't worry about what he said, his voice inflection. What did the ball move? So why are you jumping?
If you can't beat him, trick him.
That's what I say, trick him.
Yes. If you can't beat him, trick him. He does it all the time.
Good.
Hey.
And it's beautiful.
Stay on side. Watch the ball.
Know the game plan and know who you're playing. That's what they do.
Watch the ball, Skip. Did the ball move?
He's great.
Where you going?
Give me the ball.
Jump. When we watch Aaron Rodgers, why I say it's so impressive is because regardless of what he does wrong, we're always talking about what he does great because he seems to find a way to overcome his subtle flaws that arise in the game. A pick six. We don't see him do that. You know what? Wait a minute. I haven't beat this team. This is my opportunity to beat this team. My first opportunity to get a win in overtime.
Yep.
These things play big in Aaron
Subtle
Rodgers.
flaw like a backward pass against the Falcons that gets returned for a touchdown.
Skip, we talking about this game to see. Okay, let's talk about the Cowboys. What about that throw? What about that throw by the Cowboys? 384 yards.
I could have thrown.
Don't do that, Skip.
I mean, Jared Cook.
But you keep talking about, Dak went to Lambeau and he beat Aaron Rodgers.
He did. He beat him 30-16.
And then what happened when he come to your house?
But we don't even talk about that next day. We didn't even do the topic.
Yeah, we did. You did like 3 times.
Did Von Miller get the worst penalty in the NFL yesterday? We'll discuss that next.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. You know, famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label